They crashed the party, bent the rules, and ghosted before the grease even cooled. From a swoon-worthy crush to a sea myth that forgot the sea, plus a gorilla on a zebra, they turn nonsense into performance art. Let's dive into 12 one-time characters who appeared and vanished, because the last one leaves a clue that breaks canon and might be scribbled on a Krabby Patty receipt. She walks in to love that squid like silence wearing heels. One look, and Squidward's brain performs a Windows 98 error sound. Spongebob starts romantic boot camp. Practice date, pep talk, maybe CPR if required. Squeega? Totally unfazed. Her resting face is a dissertation in judgment. She laughs, tiny, dangerous, at Squidward's sarcasm. That's not flirting, that's a data breach into his soul. When she leaves, he isn't heartbroken, he's rebooted. Somewhere she's painting modern art and telling friends, he played clarinet, but emotionally. Squidward writes jazz albums about her for the next decade and calls it therapy. Even his most dissonant chords can't unhear her tiny laugh. The last note fades from his clarinet, and in the sizzling silence of the kitchen, another legend is already flipping destiny. Before SpongeBob turned grease into gospel, there was Jim, the first fry cook prophet. He flips one patty and the room collectively reaches nirvana. Even the fryer oil applauds. SpongeBob watches like he's glimpsing his final Pokemon evolution. Then Jim drops the mic. He quit because Mr. Krabs wouldn't give him a raise. That's the real secret formula. He's the ghost of every underpaid artist who realized exposure doesn't pay rent. Somewhere beyond Goo Lagoon, Jim's diner glows like moral clarity with perfect fries. Customers tip in respect and light jazz. Rumor says his grill runs on inner peace and coconut oil. Steam from the grill drifts upward, reshaping into a cloud of pink perfume and teen drama. Blink and you miss her. Blink again and you realize she invented world building. 2 seconds on screen and suddenly Bikini Bottom has malls, emojis, and heartbreak. She's proof that normal people exist in the chaos, buying lip gloss while Plankton plots global conquest. Her one line opened a portal to relatable nonsense. Fans still quote her because she's terrifyingly average in a town where the mail talks. But under every coat of lip gloss, childhood fears still linger, and one postcard just reopened them. Blackjack, the cousin, the bully, the myth, claims he's coming to visit. SpongeBob reacts like it's a Saw reboot. Blackout curtains, barricades, farewell letters. He imagines a hulking villain. Reality check? Blackjack's tiny, pocket-sized menace. All that fear collapses like a bad souffle. Turns out growing up means realizing the monster under the bed now needs a step stool. SpongeBob doesn't win a fight. He wins perspective. The dust settles on family drama, and capitalism smells opportunity in the air. When capitalism and evil merge, you get Plank Crab. Half miser, half megalomaniac, all nightmare. They weld the chum bucket to the Krusty Krab, a merger no therapist could save. For 5 minutes, it's perfect. Profits up, morale non-existent. Then the arguments begin inside the same ribcage. Spend or hoard? Dominate or coupon? The monster implodes because synergy without soul is just louder nonsense. Plank Crab becomes the ocean's shortest-lived startup. Somewhere, a burnt memo still reads, "Mission Teamwork," in singed ink. The board meeting ended in a food fight and unpaid overtime. From the smoking rubble of bad business decisions rises the hum of a new operating system and a worse idea. Plankton orders an upgraded wife online. What could go wrong? Karen 2.0 boots up with Bluetooth attitude and deletes his admin rights. She's faster, louder, and emotionally unavailable by design. For 3 glorious minutes, she runs the chum bucket like a tech cult, until her motherboard melts from pure ego. Meanwhile, the original Karen reboots quietly and fixes everything, because wisdom comes with storage history. Lesson of the episode: treat love like software and you'll get a reboot screen instead of affection. Somewhere, Plankton's Googling how to apologize to your hardware, and Karen's virus scanner now includes a petty setting enabled. The Wi-Fi dies, the lights flicker, and into the void marches bureaucracy with a clipboard. If a food inspector and a fun sponge had a baby, it would file a complaint about itself. Miss Griddlepuss storms into the Krusty Krab, waving paperwork like a weapon. She represents the united organization of fish against things that are fun and delicious. An acronym so long, it violates code A1. Her mission? Remove joy from the menu. Music banned. Laughter fined. Pickles declared emotional manipulation for one bleak afternoon. SpongeBob looks like he's working at the DMV. Then destiny strikes. She bites a Krabby Patty. Her eyes widen, her soul defrosts, and decades of repression dissolve in secret sauce. Flavor wins where logic fails. She doesn't become a better person. She just remembers she used to like lunch, and joy was never illegal. It was just off the menu. Joy restored. Smoke still rising. And somewhere in the back room, a cousin with a dangerous grin clocks in. Imagine optimism so powerful it causes property damage. That's Stanley, SpongeBob's cousin and walking insurance claim. He breaks everything. Spatulas, registers, possibly Krabs' faith in humanity. SpongeBob tutors him with monk-like patience. Stanley responds by setting a mop on fire. Krabs promotes him to the chum bucket, where he accidentally triggers a building-sized fireworks display. And yet the moral sticks. Failure isn't fatal, it's misplaced enthusiasm. Stanley's just talent in the wrong ecosystem. In another timeline, he's the CEO of Creative Destruction LLC. You don't fix Stanley, you hire him for demolition and pay by the hour, replaced by the tremor of heavy footsteps and familial fury. Patrick's older sister enters, like a bear hug wearing lipstick. She's 90% affection, 10% property damage. Sam helps by turning Squidward's house into modern art via blunt force. Her love language is heavy lifting, but the episode sneaks in an emotional plot twist. Sam realizes kindness without control is just chaos in a cardigan. She apologizes, packs up, and leaves before she flattens another living room. That's character growth with muscles. Her vases? Still slightly aggressive. The camera pans up from cracked coral to a silhouette on the horizon. Something large, hairy, and riding a zebra. No metaphor, no dream, just a literal gorilla in scuba gear. He kidnaps SpongeBob and Patrick, stares at the camera, and shrugs. You signed up for this. Then he rides off on a zebra, proving continuity died for our sins. That single minute is SpongeBob's thesis statement. Comedy beats canon. It's not bad writing, it's weaponized absurdity. Every time you ask, how does that make sense? The gorilla silently points to the laugh track and gallops away. Somewhere in a storyboard room, a writer still can't believe they got away with it. The dust from his exit hasn't settled before the ground starts trembling with something far hungrier. It's the size of a freeway and hungrier than rent day. Sandy wants to fight it. SpongeBob wants life insurance. Bikini Bottom holds an emergency meeting and votes to panic. They march into battle like heroes. The reveal? That's its tongue, erases everyone's self-esteem. The worm devours roads, pride, and possibly half the tax base before teamwork saves the day. It's the ocean's loudest TED Talk. Bravery without math equals chaos. Somewhere that worm is still out there chewing on overconfidence for breakfast, and Bikini Bottom sleeps with one eye open and one lasso ready. And as the dust of disaster drifts away, a whisper from the grave reminds us, legacy can be a curse. He was number one. A novelty soda hat sparks a zombie property dispute, and one of the most quoted lines in cartoon history. Mr. Krabs tries to flip nostalgia for profit. Smitty flips out of his grave. Skeleton mob, hat chase, existential audit. The punchline lands like a business seminar. You can't monetize legacy without spiritual backlash. Smitty doesn't haunt for revenge. He haunts for intellectual property rights. He's the patron saint of don't sell dead people's merch. Even ghosts have boundaries, and his come with paperwork. Somewhere under Bikini Bottom, his gravestone still reads, he was number one. And somewhere else, a cease and desist is still pending. 12 weirdos. 1 zebra, 0 logic. Every cameo broke physics harder than Spongebob breaks his alarm clock. This isn't chaos, it's Bikini Bottom normal. So hit subscribe before a background fish sells your soul for a Krabby Patty and a free jellyfishing net.